So good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, programmers. So welcome to Data Structures and Algorithm. So it is important, no, and critical for everyone who's here to really understand why there is a need to study data structures and algorithm as an IT students. So most definitely, itong data structures is actually uh, an advanced topic for IT. This must be taken after object-oriented principles, because the things that we're gonna be needing here, or we're gonna be doing here, is aside from we do model or simulate different algorithms. We also do it in an OOP manner. So meaning lahat ng natutunan nyo with the OOP concepts will be the one that we do here in data structures. So why there is a need to really learn data structures and algorithm? So it is it has been a common knowledge to us now that every time we had a solution, or like every time we had a problems, like machine problems, if we like to create an application for our clients, like if we create payroll system, enrollment system, I believe so. Everyone who everyone who is actually taking IT, or mga nag-graduate ng IT or ComSci, might be able to provide solutions to it, no, in any different languages, like depending on the situation, or depending on the chosen language for that. However, not all or not everyone can actually provide efficient programs. And as I've told you earlier, during our first session kanina sa OOP, it's very important for us to maximize the resources that we have, and as much as possible, we only use minimal resources in terms of how our data, or how our program really manipulates the data and process this data in such a way that it can provide an accurate solutions, and not just accurate, but it is processed in a timely manner, wherein ang resources in terms of using the RAM, as well as the processing inside, no, sa computers na to, would be done in a uh, in a shorter time. Okay, kasi the more it is processed in a short period of time, the more our program will be of course, the more our program will be able to use resources. So ang sinasabi ko na mga resources are like yung mga RAM natin na resources, yung read-only memory natin na resources. Whenever we do, or whenever we had a program kasi, that like doing whatever we write as procedures or instructions to perform a specific task, there are resources that might be compromised, no? So may mga resources na magagamit yan, particularly yung RAM natin. So although I would really tell you honestly na in terms of the processing speed, mag-vary din siya sa speed or sa specification ng computers na ginagamit natin. So that is why people would really opted to buy a higher specs computers. However, ang ma-compromise naman din yung financial aspects, kasi nga the more na higher specs ang computer mo, the more it is costly for you. Hence, it is expensive to to a company. Pero required siya. I mean, needed siya for a shorter processing speed, no? Kasi kung shorter processing speed, mas malaki yung tendency na we are able to cater more data, we are able to cater more, let's say, transaction siya, customers, when using the program. So yan yung idea ng data structures and algorithm. We are going to organize our data in a way that uh, we can efficiently process this data And whatever goal we would like to achieve, at least there's a short period of time, and only few resources are going to be taken or going to be used in our program, especially the time. Kasi time is, ika nga, no, time is gold. So in most cases, pag ang program natin, eventually, ang processing time niya or speed would really takes time before coming up with a solution or an output, then don't expect somebody will stick to that solution. So what I'm trying to say here is that we can provide solutions to a problem, all of us here, but if we get the right algorithm, if we are able to make this algorithm works in terms of the processing speed, or the processing time would be, what they call this one, na shorten natin, and we're able to really create the right algorithm, then we are that's what that's we can say that the application that we have created is really a good and a good application, because again, it processes only parang, uh, in terms of speed, no, the data that are, kasi ganito yan, no, there are situations na in the very first time na ginamit mo yung application, you only have few data to process, but along the way na pag marami ng data na coming in, no, data are keep coming in your application, and eventually marami na siyang i-manipulate, then therefore that's where the problem comes in or may occur. So that's actually the ano, no, it's the same with ano ba, sa vehicle natin. So the more horsepower we have, or yung makina, kung mas malaki ang engine, so yung ang load capacity naman niya, in terms of ilan lang yung load capacity na kaya niya, is mag-depend doon sa engine niya, at saka yung sa anong tawag nito, no, basta there is a specific value lang required for that if your engine is like this. And more than that, ma-compromise yung capacity or yung speed ng isang vehicle. So it's basically like that. Uh, it's the same concept that is applied in data structures and algorithm. So the intended learning outcomes for this course are the following. So we understand the underlying concepts about data structures and algorithms. We determine or identify different data types, data structures rather, and the characteristics of these data structures. And we are going to discuss the need, and when are we going to choose for a specific data structure, and when are we going to select data structure, and what data structure is actually appropriate for a certain problem. Okay? Kasi pwedeng isang problem, maraming algorithm ang pwedeng mag-solve diyan. So, and it depends to us, it depends on our knowledge and our skills into achieving that, or into addressing that kind of problems. Okay? So vary yan sa knowledge and skills natin. Okay? So that's why the need to study, the need to understand data structures and algorithm is really important. So when we talk about, or when we speak of algorithm, we say that algorithm is anything or any finite set of instructions leading to a solution. So every one of us here can provide solutions, but not everyone of us here can provide the right solutions in a right way of doing it, as I've said earlier. So iba yung we provide right solutions doon sa we provide the right solutions in a right way of doing it, no? So may malaking differences with that. Okay? So kaya nga 'di ba may mga phones na in terms of speed, we could say na, oh yeah, Apple is better than speed. Okay? It's in processing speed. compared to mga local brands, no, like My Phone, sa ano pa yun, Cherry Mobile, which is as of today parang obsolete na or parang wala na in the market, no. They are not actually able to compete with iPhone, although mas mahal si iPhone because they maximize the resources, and they use actually resources. And I mean, yung resources na ginamit niya for it to ano, no, to assemble is mas quality. Although siyempre nag-decline ang quality ng isang software, nag-decline ang quality ng technology, but if we're able to sustain its speed even a longer period of time until its maturity, and until wala na talaga, like hindi na siya like working pa siya, but because there are other technologies now that are parang new and updated, so syempre we would tend to buy new ones rather than sticking to the ones that we had. So parang ganun yung idea ng data structures and algorithm. Okay? So we are going to also determine the data structure philosophy. So now, as you can see, ito yung data, sample data in a matrix, whereas my column name, my column age, and my column price indicating that the name are all string, while age are in the are numeric value, whole numbers, while the price column is actually a with decimal value. So as we can see, if we view it in a technical way or in a technical manner, sa programming na ano, we can see this data structures, or we can see this as name should be declared as a string, age should be declared as an integer, and price should be declared as float or double. But more than that is we can say that this kind of matrix that is projected to your screen is organized in a manner that we can easily filter out, we can easily manage the data, because they are arranged as like the file structure is arranged as like in a table or in column. So basically yung data structure is all about organizing your data, and not just in presenting it to your client, but also how you build or how you actually created instructions to it. And that's definitely we take that the idea of object oriented programming. So what I'm trying to say is, the, for us to create this kind of file structure, we have to have a knowledge on object oriented programming. Okay, because when we create a class, we're going to make a members of our class name, age, and price, and then we're going to have this operations which can store data, which can delete data, or which can search data. And in order for us to do that, we have to have a solid foundation of OOP, plus the uh, the the appropriate data structure na i-apply natin dito. Okay? So, yun yung idea of why is data structure is here, and why do we need to study data structures. So, ito yung mga types of data structures, some of the or few of the data structures that are known, that are still parang andito pa rin, and we are still using them. So most likely pag IT ka, IS, okay lang na yung mastery mo is up to using these data structures. No, mastering only of using them. No, parang we are just implementers, we are just the end users. And like for an instance, we use array, and then when we use array, we create an application out of an array. When we use list, linear list, nonlinear, like stack, queue, trees, array list, vector, we create a program implementing array list or vector or list or tuple or dictionary sa Python. And that's how IT actually how IT sees it, no. So si IT, ang level niya lang is, ang mastery lang niya lang is yung how this kind of algorithms work. So yun lang yung level ng mastery niya. Okay? But I mean, compared to ComSci, no, ComSci students are supposed to be creator. They create APIs, they create libraries. So ang data structures and algorithms are para talaga sa kanila. So uh, yeah, but because here in the Philippines, no, ang IT and ComSci are almost the same, only that mas maraming mathematics ang ComSci. Like we have, like ako, no, I am a graduate of computer science, so I have uh, most of my major subjects are into mathematics. So ang programming namin is pero it's limited to like maka-create kami ng application. So we that is not our focus. Our focus is to make an efficient algorithms, to make an efficient API that can be used by IT in such a way na ma-apply nila sa kanilang application. Example Google Maps. Okay? More likely, ang nag-create ng Google Maps, or most likely, ang nag-create ng Google Maps are ComSci students or a graduate of a a graduate of a ComSci. So now somebody creates an Uber program, or yung grab a food, grab a taxi, 'di ba? Yung may algorithm na gi-apply dyan, which is a Dijkstra algorithm, which is to look for the shortest path, to look for the quickest path, or to locate somebody's location. And yeah, to nag-brown out. Can you guys still hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Ni
Yes,
brown
sir.
out man god. Anyway, so ni brown out ni kalit og ka black. Anyway, let's back to relief up to yun. So gagawa ang IT ng isang application implementing the map, no, the Google Map API. So yun yung level of mastery ng IT. Yung sa ComSci is how to create this Google Map API para magamit ng IT. Pero ang approach natin ngayon dito is you are both a creators and at the same time a tester of your product. So, ang approach ko ngayon is more on into ComSci. Okay? So, pero wag kayong mag-alala with that. No? I'm going uh, to only make it in a lighter na manner na dili kay siya into ComSci. No? It will not involve too much calculations. Okay? So these are the things na mga data structures, no? So as I've told you, ito yung mga primitive data structures, yung int, float. Actually mali dapat ito. It should be yung int, yung float na maliit, no? Hindi siya like this, boolean and so on and so forth. And these are the data structures that we can use in Java. So ito preset ito sa Java, and we can use them anytime we want. Okay, so yeah, what are the classifications of data structures? The things that we're going to be discussing here are we're going to discuss linear data structures, which are yung array, yung stack, yung queue, and even yung linked list na dynamic data structures. And then we also discuss nonlinear, or yung mga hierarchical data structures like trees, graph, which are also be discussed in discrete structures. Itong mga trees and maps, no? Ito sila, ma-discuss din natin ito sa discrete structures, pero more on into concepts. And then yeah, homogeneous. So homo means only one, no? So array, and we have non-homogeneous. If you use C or C++, so sikat doon si struct at saka si enum or enumeration, and ito union classes. So kaya yeah, I mean these are the things na nandun sa C++. But in Java, it's focused on classes. So wala na itong record, structure, or union. Andun ito sa C++. So static because it's fixed. So yan, array. And dynamic in C++, we call it pointers. In Java, we call it references. But the approach is not that difficult compared to pointers. So sa Java, we only use linked list algorithms. Yun. So yun yung mga classifications of data structures. So ito 'yon. Yung data structures talaga kasi ang daming books really discusses about data structures. No, iba-iba. Like if I were to really teach data structures are only has two types. Yung array-based data structure and the other one is the dynamic-based data structures. So actually dapat ganun lang. Okay? Pero syempre, ang daming books no nag-i-evolve, and then ang daming versions ng mga books. So iba-iba din yung approach nila, iba-iba din yung mga techniques nila. At one thing for sure, since algorithm are algorithms, so we follow whatever the algorithm would tell us, and by following it, we are able to achieve whatever it is pursued. Okay, so yon yung about the algorithm. So as we all know, algorithm is the finite set of instructions which leads us to a solution. We computers are used to follow whatever instructions, whatever procedures we write to it. So walang capability ang computers to actually create their own algorithm. But because of the era of machine learning and artificial intelligence and deep learning, uh, our computers now will be able to learn on its own, and the approach is actually different. And that's another data structuring. No, I mean that's another approach or era of kumbaga era of um, the computer thinking or machine thinking. Kasi we can teach the computers now to learn on its own. Kumbaga, like yung mga robots, no? So that is why it's possible now that we can teach computers uh, to to detect, no, predict the price of probably yung Bitcoin, to detect the whether a mango is overripe or not. So may mga ganyan na tayong detections. That's because of machine learning and deep learning. Ang approach niya is just we write the instruction, not in the same way na algorithm, but there is still algorithm, but most likely data sets ang ilalagay natin instead of the instruction. So yung data sets na nilalagay natin, yun yung i-learn ng computers, and eventually the computers will learn that, and parang it's like bata siya na whenever more data sets ang ibibigay natin sa kanya, the more na mas lalawak yung scope ng schemas ng kanyang brain or ng kanyang thinking. So yun na yung idea ng machine learning and deep learning. So yeah, most definitely ang machine learning and deep learning are all about usage of algorithms. So kung walang idea sa DSA or data structures and algorithms, most likely uh, you might not suck. You will have difficulty learning machine learning and deep learning. Okay, kasi yun yung basis. The good part lang is that we can purchase mga algorithms. No, we can just purchase different APIs. So yun lang yung good part. Like even hindi tayo gagawa, pwede na nating bilhin. Okay? So, yan, no? Now, let's proceed. So properties of algorithm, we have input, output, definiteness, finiteness, correctness. So let's talk about each one of it. By the way, yeah, so we need input, and whenever we have the input, we process it, and of course the output will come out based on that algorithm. So finite meaning a there is a time it will end. So may beginning, may end. So discrete siya, no? Hindi siya continuous property. And correctness, no? Accuracy of the algorithm. And of course, computer implemented instructions, which are these are the written instructions, maybe in a C++, in Java, in Python na language. So data structures and algorithms is or are or algorithm is actually a still as a concept, it's not dependent to any language gihapon. So we can use any different language. So sige, examples of algorithm, ito sila. So may mga sorting tayo, merge sort, quick sort, team sort, and there are actually a lot, hundreds of sorting algorithms available, and all we need to do is use them. However, it's not only enough na mugamit ta, but what is enough is we understand why we use them. Nganong kailangan nato sa nganong gamito nato si bubble sort or si exchange sort, why not quick sort, why not heap sort? So dapat there is always a reason why we use that, which is yun na yung sa capstone ninyo whenever you reach to fourth year. You will choose different algorithms now based on the application or based on the study that you have conducted, and then you will be asked about why do you choose that kind of algorithm in your work. So yan, no, that is why ito talaga yung backbone ng isa sa mga backbone ng capstone ninyo in order for you to really choose the appropriate algorithm for you. So we have linear search, binary search. So as we all know, linear searching arranged in a linear manner, no? Sequential. Binary is parang yung mga gi-apply sa mga networking companies, no, like na sila na I left and right, no, na I parents, na I children. So yun yung mga binary algorithms. So even yeah, I mean, even in the company it is applied, or even in itong mga networking companies, yan yung gina-apply nila na algorithm. Okay, so and yan, shortest path, we have the Dijkstra and Bellman-Ford algorithms. So for finding the shortest path or the quickest path. Pero sometimes it doesn't mean it is the shortest path, it is the quickest path. There is an algorithm used by Waze ba? Waze, no? Tama, Waze? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yung Waze. Ang Waze kasi, iba yung algorithm na ginagamit ni Waze. It's getting it's actually more on NLP yung ginagamit niya. It's getting information from those that are posted in the social sites, kasi yung mga tao once na may incident doon sa lugar, they murag it's part of their taboo na i-post siya sa social site, either in Twitter or Instagram ba, or in Facebook yung pinakasikat. So i-post tayo na sa incident na ay ano dire blah blah blah. So i-post lang incident. So if i-feed yan ng Uber, may algorithm si Uber na kukunin nila yon, and that's natural language processing. No, i-filter nila, once ma-filter nila, mag-data cleaning sila na how many are saying na may incident doon. So, and then pagdating sa Waze app, makikita sa Waze app na okay, so it's the quickest path. However, there is an incident happen as of the moment. So, it's not possible, or if it's possible pero heavy ang traffic. So, ma-inform yung driver or yung user na okay, I would not go to the quickest path or the shortest path. Kasi case to case basis 'yan, no? Shortest path pero baka may blockage. Oh yeah, shortest path kung may blockage or may incident. So, not possible, or if possible baka heavy ang traffic. So, hindi na siya shortest path. Okay? So, shortest path pero baka hindi na siya quickest path. So sometimes yung longest path pa yung quickest path. So yun yung idea ng isang graph algorithm. So yun, which is itatackle natin yan sa last part of data structures. And the need really for data structure is ito, efficiency. Kasi efficiency, guys, is becoming a standard. Always ko siya i-reiterate sa inyo kasi nga ang most of the things dito sa world, no, dito sa atin, except for the life, we want everything to be fast. Okay? Mas prefer ng tao yung faster faster accommodation, mas prefer ng tao yung convenience sa kanya, no, efficient, fast, kasi nga we are in the era of technology and advancements, and we like to do things efficiently and in a fastest way. So yun yung target natin. Yun yung pinaka philosophy ng data structures. Okay? So that is why the need to really study data structures. I just hope I'm able to convince you na ito yung beginning of creating something greater and good, no, for the our society. So yan. So a solution is said to be efficient if it solves the problem within its resource constraints. Okay? So yung resource constraints na sinasabi ko o yung resources na ginagamit natin pag maggawa tayo ng program is because we use computers, and these computers has space and time na resources na magamit, no? So example, yung space, yung storage. Ang time naman is the amount of time it is processed by an algorithm. Yung space naman is how much bytes, how much byte size are we going to use for this particular program. Okay? So yun na yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, yung about data, yung about primitive types, na one way to also to maximize the space complexity is to use data types appropriately. However, sabihin ko to sa inyo, yung sa space complexity kasi, parang we don't really consider that as as in na as is na yung storage capacity natin is parang medyo ang bilis ng ano niya ng improvement kasi it follows the idea of Moore's law, no? Yung Moore's law na 1 times 2 times 2 siya, no? By it mo double ang size niya by pila lang commands. Yun yung Moore's law. That's why kung mapansin niyo yung mga RAM natin na wala may 1 gigabyte, may 2 pero walang 3 gigabyte, tapos may 4 pero walang 5, walang 6, may 8 pero walang 7, walang 9, walang 10, walang 12, but merong 16, no? May mga kasi Moore's law 'yan, no? Di more I forgot, pero Moore's law 'yan siya na tama ba ako? Anyway, if is I will I'll stand corrected if mali ako, but that's something like Moore's law, Gordon Moore yata. Please try to check it if tama ako, baka mali, recorded ba ya ito. So yun, though na may mga iba like sa flash drive by 12 gig, pero most likely ano talaga siya, times 2 talaga. Okay? In terms of yung sa advancement or sa anong ang tawag diyan sa mga space natin. I mean, what I'm trying to elaborate here is that we don't really consider much on in the space kasi nga we can just buy storage, no? So mas barato. So okay lang. So bahalag how many data we are going to put in there or keep in there, kasi we can just buy new one. Pero syempre, no, it can sometime, if imuha jud siyang tan-awon, why not use or maximize the resource na space, yung space mo or yung storage mo, rather than purchasing new one. So yun yung idea niya. Pero syempre, no, may mga cloud storage na tayo, may mga uh, uh, what they call this one, basta yung mga storage capacity niya medyo malaki na. So we don't really take this space complexity into parang consideration sa data structures. But the time is, no, yung time, okay, yung amount of the time the time the algorithm requires to process a certain uh, parang process or algorithm. Tama ba? Yung amount of time required for the algorithm to complete the task. Yun yung sa time complexity, which is yun yung focus natin. Okay? So the need for data structures is equals to when you what they call this one, when you organize your data in a better ways, is equivalent to efficient programs. Mura lang na siya og you arrange your plates probably in a cabinet or sa inyong butanganan og mga utensils, di ba? Lahi inyong kutsara, lahi inyong kutsilyo, lahi inyong plates, lahi ang platito nga gagmay, lahi itong dako, lahi itong glass. Kasi if ever mix up lang na, aside from it's messy, it will be really difficult for you to get one item from there if ano lang na siya, parang everything is all mixed up. Tama ba? Are you guys getting it? Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
Oo. The same idea sa closet ninyo. Sino may mga closet dito? So for sure may mga closet tayo. Yung, let's say hindi na lang closet, yung cabinet. Lalagyan ng mga clothes natin. May mga tao na OZ talaga na they arrange their clothes kung ano yung susuotin nila in every week, no? So dapat Monday ito yung suotin ko, Tuesday ito yung suotin ko, Wednesday, Thursday naka-arrange na 'yan para it would be easier to, to fetch or to wala nang time required na malaki for you to choose the your clothes to wear on that particular day. Kasi arranged na siya. May mga iba din by color. Ito lahat red, ito lahat blue, ito lahat yellow, or iba white, iba so yung iba naka-tupi or something like that, or nakapilo, yan sa Bisaya, no? So, yun yung idea ng data structures din. So, the same idea that we apply in our computers. So data structures in an organized data, choosing the right data structure is equivalent to more efficient programs. So I just hope na nakita nyo na ang idea why do you need to study data structure. So ayun, no, when do we need to the need for data structures. So it is important for you to choose the right one. First is you analyze the problem. By identifying the problem, you're able to capture the right data structure for it, no? By quantifying the possible resources or constraints for each of the operation needed for that problem. And then after after it, you will now then select a data structure appropriate for that. Okay? So, ayan. So, these are some of the things that you might be asking yourself. So, if it's you're going to if that possible na problem will have storing, so are we going to store it in the beginning or in the middle or in the end? So, or in terms of searching, and in terms of deletion, can it be deleted in a sequential manner or random manner? Or will it be ordered in a way that the searching is, once it is ordered and sequential, the searching can be really sluggish, can be really slow kasi it has to traverse from one place to another. So parang ang searching mechanism niya is to mag-start siya at the beginning towards the end. So parang may sinasabi tayong calculating the complexity of the time, no, or complexity of algorithm, which is time complexity. So how much time it is required for that process or algorithm to search for a specific value in probably in our storage or in our array or in our data structures. So yun yung mga things that we will take into consideration. So data structures has cost and benefits, and this is one thing for sure, we cannot provide solutions to, I mean, ito lang yung real talk niya, no? My problem, yung isang problem is hindi siya pwedeng isang algorithm ang magsosolve sa kanya. For sure, madaming algorithms. Yan ang maraming algorithms ang required niyan in order for you to solve. So that is why you really need to walang isang algorithm na mag-solve sa lahat ng problems. Kasi pag ganyan, why there is a need to have different algorithms? Bakit may maraming mga algorithms na na arises, no, na parang ginawa when when the philosophy of data structure is that no one actually nothing is actually going to solve all the problems, all the machine problems. So yun, a data structure is all about time and space, and of course the effort of programmers or the programming effort. So yun, no? So each problem has constraints on available space and time, but we focus more on time. And then only after we get to probe, no, do the probing, investigation, experiments on the problem and the other factors, no, that may contribute to the problem, then we can know the best data structure for that task, no, or for that problem. So note to every programmer, there are costs and benefits for every data structures. Learn to commonly use data structures, choose the appropriate one, because again, no single data structure or algorithm solves all machine problems. Okay? And most likely, measure the effectiveness of data structures or a program. And how do we do that? So ito na yung course natin. All right. So summary. Data structure is about organizing and managing data. Algorithm is a finite set of instruction or procedure na kailangan natin i-follow in order for us to achieve a goal. So, yan. That is all. Thank you. Now, let's go to a program. So, I'm gonna teach you how to doggy. Joke lang. So, punta tayo dito sa, is it recorded ba? Naka-record ba ito? Oo. Okay, question guys. Everyone. Oh, before I'll proceed, do I parang able to capture your attention? Did it make you did you find it, or do you find it interested now na studying data structures and algorithm is really important pala? Anyone? Anybody who would like to share your thoughts after hearing me? No, sige daw. Before we'll proceed with the programming part. Sige. Anyone who would like to share? Ano yung mga key takeaway ninyo? Yung na-realize ninyo after hearing my discussion. So, don't be plastic pag wala na minaw, ayaw na, no? Ayaw na. Basta magpataka lang isa. Bitaw, kinsay na minaw, be. Sige, kinsay na minaw, faster. Ayo. Ayo. Sige, Jud. Bulagan jud mo sa inyong mga uyab unya. Basta di mo manubag. Wala mo'y allowance isa ka bulan. Maitihan mo unya iniglakaw ninyo og kai sa kabaw. Kay ang kabaw mo lupad.
Sir, question na sir.
Yes. Arnel. Wala sa Arnel. Yes.
Ako lang sir, kailangan ako na sa sir para ma-organize ang data sir. Nga,
Unya.
organize ug ma-manage ang data sir.
Organize ug ma-manage ang data properly. Oo, thank you. Oh, sige. Thank you, Arnel. Sa apelyido nimo, Arnel?
Bahaw sir, bahaw.
Bahaw. Dili pala Badyaw yan?
Bahaw
Bahaw.
sir, bahaw.
Sige. Sige, tayo pa i-record sa nako, ha? Oh, Bahaw. Sige. Kinsa pa inailaing
Ako
ika-share
sir, ako
dira.
sir, ako sir.
Sige, sige. Sige.
Para sa
Unsay
klase.
apelyido? Unsay
Ah,
apelyido ani?
Taha
Taha.
sir. Para sa klase
Taha.
ang data structure kay i-organize imong data man. Tarongon nimo og code para ang algorithm kay dili mag-error ba na ang process masunod-sunod ba.
Do.
O mana
Sure.
mana ko realize sir sa kwa.
Okay, sige, taha. Knock knock. Knock knock.
Oh, I was there.
Taha.
Taha.
Taha, joke lang.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you Taha, no, for that
Sige.
wonderful sharing. Oo.
Sige sir.
Sige. Sige pa, kinsa pa gusto mo share? Unsa may mga sige Bisaya, sige unsa may mga na-realize ninyo dira like after our discussion, unsa may nakutlo ninyo?
sir kanang ang data
Kakul ba?
structure ang data
Kakul.
structure siya, ang data structure sir is maka-allow us to organize and store data sir. And suppose sir kana mag-sort out ka og mga data sir or mag-searching like kailangan mo siya sa kuan ba sa capstone or more other programs na imong buhaton para maka-organize nimo iyang data structure niya.
Sige. All right, that's good. That's good sharing, no? Organizing, managing the data well or properly, and then choosing the right data structures, it makes an efficient program. So tama lahat, no? It serves you right. So yun yung pinaka goal ng data structure. We need to create efficient algorithm. Okay? And in order for us to do that, we'll need to study different algorithms, and we need to study how we arrange and manage our data properly. So yun. Now, let's start with a simple program. Wait. Oops. Okay, dito tayo sa file. Sige, so this is DSA. DSA, ayan. All right, so okay, so one simple way to actually to simulate a speed, no, processing for an algorithm is to simulate, or I'm going to have a program simulation about the different algorithms. Now, I'm going to show you different algorithms in solving or in getting the para masabtan nyo. So, getting the sum of all natural numbers given the n, where n is the number of numbers, no, or where n is the number of constraints, okay, or the constraints of n. So, of course, we'll start with the algorithm. We'll take input from the user, so we can ask the user to like input value of n. So let's say we will assume na ang value ng n natin is 50. So we can assume na this one is input either sa console through scanner or sa J option pane. Okay? So later on ato na siyang buhaton. Now, this is now our algorithm in getting the value or the sum of all natural numbers from 1 to n. So mathematically, ang calculation niya is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 50. Okay? So, until maabot siya 50. So let's start with, let's say I is equal to 1, and then I is less than to the value of or equal to the value of n, which is our n is actually the constraint for or the input, and then we have I plus plus. So now we're going to have the sum value. Okay. So in order for us to calculate the value of the n is we'll need to to get the sum of the each instance or each value of I whenever mag ano siya sa loop. Okay? So, this one, by the way, is written in Python like this. So, pwede rin sa Java na siya, no? Walay problem. So, kung gusto mo, malibog mo, o si ana, pwede na siya sa Java. Pero ako, mas preferred na ako ang plus equals to n. So, yeah, no? We have now sum plus sum is equal to n, and then we'll have here, we'll display the sum. So, yeah, the sum of 1 to n is, yeah, then let's have sum. Okay, so let's have it here. The sum of 1 to 50 is 1 to 1275. Now, since we use this kind of algorithm, it is uh, it is really parang evidently, or we can evidently notice that there is usage of loops. And when there is a usage of loop, it means to say that there is iteration. So whenever there is iteration, okay, though this is a simple, as a small statement lang, calculating the sum of the n, this would mean that the what they call this one, the resource that is used is, aside from space, which is dili nato i-consider, is the time. So the time that the computer performs the algorithm that we have created. Okay? So this will take like 50 loops, no? 50 times iteration. Remember, if ikaw if ikaw or kita tao mutuyok-tuyok ka 50, for sure lipong ta. Okay? Of course, ang compiler na to, atong computers cannot or will not do that, or dili siya maka-feel og inana because it is built to do such, no? So wala siya feelings, wala siya ma-feel na inana. Pero imagine if you put your shoes to the computers na inana ang imong buhaton or yang buhaton, no, 50 times. Now, is there a possibility ba na pwede nato ma-lessen ang time or ang speed or ang time, given this one na ang iyang ano lang is sum of all natural numbers? Is there a possibility daw na ma-shorten nato ang iyang ang speed, no? Is there, pwede ba na mas ma-lessen na to ang time na mag-process ang computer? So probably yes, no? So probably yes. And we can actually follow the basic mathematical formula. Okay? So anyway, before that, if you ever wonder paano niya nakuha ang paano niya gisam, baka you're not like you're confused right now. So I'm pretty much sure alam nyo ang loops, no? So sa loops, one thing that you will need to say is, yung kailangan nyo itingnan is where it started. So it started at 1, which is the value of I, and then it ends at the value of n. So ang end niya is expected na mag-end siya at 10. So 10 ha, gi-change na ako into 10. So now, what is the update statement? Yung update statement niya is I++. So it increments by 1. So since by 1 siya, until 10, yung loop natin is magka-count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 10. So that is how actually you read the loop. So imagine if it's like 100, so 100 times po na siya mag-loop, and i-add po na niya every loop. So which is mao ni siya. The sum is updated based on the values na i-add natin. So let's say we'll start with, sige, i-expound ko siya. Tracing tayo. So the value of I is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to n? True or false?
True.
True, sir.
True. Yes, true. So since true siya, The value of sum is, so dito tayo, the value of sum is 0. So ang ano niya is sum plus 1, which is equivalent to 1. Okay? So since during the value of 1 is true siya when it is compared to the value of n, which is 10, the loop will still going to execute or process the execution or magbalik siya sa for loop. Kaya siya loop kasi magbabalik siya, no? Mubalik siya. Okay? Kay true pa man. So, dito sa I plus, since may I plus plus dito, it means that the I will increment its value by 1, making it now become 2. Okay? Or it becomes 2. When it becomes 2, it will now be compared to the value of n, which is 10. So, is 2 now less than or equal to 10? True or false? True or
True.
false? True. Therefore, true siya and i-execute na naman niya yung value ni sum plus is equal to I, which is in this case, yung value ni I at sum is 1 plus the value of I is actually 2, making it to 3. Now, mag-increment ang value ng I, it becomes 3 now. When it becomes 3, ang 3 will be compared if it's less than 10, that is still true. So, i-execute niya ang sum, the updated value of sum is actually 3 plus the value of 3 becomes 6. So, therefore, if we're going to process it, kasi may pattern na siya, 4 is true, calculate this 6 plus 4 becomes 10, then 5, I will become 5, that is still true. Calculate 10 plus 5, it becomes 15. Then we'll have here 6, that is still true. Calculate nyo naman ulit yung 10, 15 plus 6, which is 21. 21. So we have 7 for our I, and 21 plus 7 will be 28. Okay? So now 28 is still, sorry, 8 still true, and 28 plus 8 is actually 36, and 9 is still true, and 36 plus 9 is actually 36 plus 9 is 45. Yeah, 45. So when it is 10, 10 is true, then 10 plus 45 plus 10 is equal to 65. So, walay ni react. So, walay ni tanaw. Actually, the answer is 55. So, 45 plus 10 is 55. And then, when I becomes 11, this will now becomes false. So, the loop now will end. And ito na yung i-execute ng loop. Nasabi dito is the sum of 1 to n is sum, which is yung 55, which is the last value of sum. So, yan yung magre-reflect na the sum of 1 to 10 is 55. So, yun yung nangyari inside of our loops. And that is only considering na 10 lang yung n natin. What about if it's 100? Imagine, gaano siya, ilang beses siya mag-loops, no? Mag-iterate. Ilang beses siya paiikutin. Okay? Yung for loop lang, ang parang isang tao na no matter how many times tayo pinaikot ng isang tao, nag-i-enjoy pa rin tayo. Tama ba? Are you guys with me?
Tama, sir, tama.
Tama. 'Di ba? So, yan, no? Yung idea ng this is how we trace it. Okay? So, yeah, if you guys want to, like display the value of, let's say, I, and you want to know the value of like sum plus I mean, gusto natin ilabas yung sum, no? So, sum Pwede nyo i-ganyan. Sum plus I equals tapos sum plus I. So, pwede natin i-ganyan para we would know ang so 1, meron para dapat 1 plus. So, parang 1 plus, ganun. So, 1 plus 1 is 2, 3 plus 2. Start tayo with, ano pala, dito tayo start sa taas. Ayan. So, 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. Basta, mauna siya ang iyahang tracing, no? Or ang iyahang nahitabo inside of it. Kung gusto niyo i-appeal pa ning true, sige, pwede na ninyo i-appeal dira. Okay, kung gusto yun ninyo. So, 1, I less than or equal to n. So, dili nyo may balaan if it's true. So, true. Pag abot niya dire, mahimo na siyang false, although wala na niya gi-display, pero it becomes false. Now, that is not the point here. Okay? Ang point natin dito is, erase ko ito. I'll erase this one. I'll erase this one. So, ano yung calculation? Paano natin i-calculate manually ang program natin na we can guarantee that the speed of this one or this algorithm is parang ilang time unit ang required niya to execute this kind of algorithm. So, we'll start with gawin natin ito as like, so mamaya i-input natin yan ha. Pero again, assume na this is an input. Okay? So, ito yung first is number one. First is whenever there is an initialization of value, it is considered as 1 unit. 1 unit, as in isang basahan lang. So, isang basa, 1. Sum is equal to 0, isang basa, 1. Okay? So, isang unit yan siya. So, 1, 1. Tapos, dito tayo sa declaration ng I, ito, no? I is equal to 1. That is also considered as 1. Tapos, itong I is less than or equal to N. This is N plus 1. Okay? And pag calculation siya, which is itong I++, ito, calculation kasi ito, nag-i-increment ang value niya by 1. This is N. Okay? So yan, that is how you, 1, 1, 1, N plus 1. Pag any comparison, that's N plus 1. Tapos kasi may siya sa value ng N. And then I++ is actually N, any calculation. So therefore, itong sum is equal to sum plus I would be N now. Okay? And let's assume this one, itong statement natin dito is considered as 1. Pero pwede na hindi. Pero let's consider this one as 1. So now, by using the linear, the function of n or the t of n, we use the formula to calculate the processing speed of the complexity, the time complexity of our program. So we have here 1, we will count the number of n's. So we have 1, 2, 3. So that's 3n plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3n plus 5. Okay? So now, what is the value of the t of n if your n is equal to 10? So since yung n mo is equal to 10, all you just need to do mathematically is substitute mo lang yung value ni 3, ni n, which is 10, to 5, which is equals now to 3 times 10 is 30 plus 5. So there is 35 units of time. Okay? So ito yung ito yung time complexity ng calculation mo using T of n O notation. Okay? So which is yung discussion niya andun sa video na gigawa ko. So may ano doon, parang step by step on how you actually do it. So ngayon, paano if your n will become 100? So basically, if your n is equal to 100, then the processing speed will be obviously increased also. And this is like plus 5, it becomes 305 units of time. Okay? So now, how about if we're going to do it in an, we will use the the built-in time for calculating it in Java. So we can do that by creating the, starting from here, no? Let's have here the, let's say start, and we'll capture the time in nanoseconds. So nano time, ayan. And then we'll have it here until here. Kukunin natin yung end and tingnan natin ano yung time or unit of time required, no? So processing speed. Okay. So we'll have here end minus start. So tingnan natin yung ano, wait, 10 muna tayo. So if you look at it, hindi nano time. Tingnan natin milli daw. Baka mas current milliseconds. Baka we would be able to capture. Medyo malaki yung time. Wait ha. So let's have it here. Wala. Hindi. Nano na lang. Balik tayo sa nano. Nano time. Let's have it here like 5 or sorry 5. Okay. Tingnan natin yung speed. So it is first niya is ito, no? So 1,347, 1,347,977, 347,977 units of time. Okay? So nano time yan ha, kaya siya inana. Dili siya seconds. Meaning paspas ato ang paspas siya, pero since ang gamit natin is nano time, so nano is ano yan, nano is how much is the nano? Basta mas ano pa siya sa milliseconds. Okay? Nano time. Yes? Ano? Sige, let's try 50. No, if ang n natin is equal to kanina ano 'yon? 10, 5. 5 yata 'yon. If ang n natin is 5. How about if ang n natin is 50? Tingnan natin if there is a change of speed, no? Or change of wait. Bakit wala? So, tingnan natin dito. So, you'll have here 7. Tapos, oops. Oy, mas maliit, mas konti. Tama ba yung formula ko? Start. Kailan siya nag-start and then the end. So, it's like walang ano sa speed. Wait for a while. Mhm. 'Wait for a while. Oops, what happened? Okay, kasi ang end andito. How much is that? It starts at I can't seem to see the figure. Medyo basta anyway, the processing speed is like that. So, let's have it in a ano na lang natin. Wait for a while. So, manually ito yun ha. 5 units of time. Ito yung automatic na ano. But I was trying to think of bakit mas every time we increase the n, parang mas lumaki yung processing speed niya. Dapat hindi. So, let's go from here and sorry, public, public static int uh, sum of n. So int n. Okay, so and let's have it here, DSA dot sum of n. So we'll return the and minus start. So this time we'll put it here. Okay. Wait. Okay. So long pala ito. Yeah, so all right. 1,000, try natin 1,000. So may increase ba of the speed whenever we make it higher? Parang wala masyado, no? Kasi ang processing niya is only like this. But later on, probably, yung if ever mag-linear searching tayo, mas makita natin yung processing speed na as it increases, mag-i-increase din yung time complexity niya. Pero so far, what I'm trying to do here is that this is our algo. This is our algo 1. And we are going to create another algo, which is another way to solve this. So let's say we have static long sum of n, let's say using math formula. So tingnan natin if we are able to have the same. So gawa tayo dito ng start and then end. And gawin natin dito is sum is equal to the n n times n plus 1 divided by 100. Oops. Wait. 5. Wait, makamali yung formula ko. Can you guys see somewhere? Hello guys, are you still with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nagkatawa naman mo.
Nagdugo ang utok, sir.
Ha?
Nagdugo ang utok.
kami, sir.
Nagdugo inyong?
Utak.
Masakit ang ulo,
sir.
Sure ba? O paganita? Ano? Kung ano to na ka? Wait for a while ha. Nasa imo babay. Pila? Ha? Pantay. Send ko later. Naka-review pa.
Ayan.
Recorded.
Love you.
Ah.
Love you.
Okay, balik taas sa wait guys ha, nawala na ko. So okay, as you, ano?
Nawala lagi ka, sir. Ayan.
Wala, uy, wamang guy pula go dira got. Taka lang yun na yung life dira. Taka lang mo. Asa na ako dapit? And return and minus start. So can you guys still see my screen? Dili na. Wala na.
Di na, sir.
Oh, sorry. Asa na dito? Okay. Wala naka-record. Naka-record biya nino, patay oy. Ikat na lang nato. Wait ha, so ayun na to niyo isipa. Iring ra to. Wait. Bakit 11? No. Sorry, wait. This is supposed to be 2. Ayun. Okay, that's it. O balik sa taha, ayo sa mo pag marites guys. Balik sa ta dire. I'll go 2. Okay. So dito sa algo 1 natin is we use loops to actually achieve itong problem, which is getting the sum of all natural numbers given the value of n. Okay? So we have two algorithms here. Itong algo 1 natin and yung algo 2 natin without loops na it will solve or it will do the same iba yung approach nila but it does the same but it does the same goal. Okay? Nasaan na yun? Ayun. So whenever na so ito yung processing speed ng algo 1 natin. As you can see, it takes 568,764 units and yung isa naman is 75,860. So medyo you can see naman no the difference, the big difference ng dalawang algorithm natin. Kasi nga the more we use loops sa ating program, the more we use many instructions sa ating program, which is may equivalent naman pala na mas easier. And even without using loop, if there is, why not? So, but this doesn't mean na the lesser the code, the better. In fact, almost the same lang din naman yung ang codes nila. Like this will have 4 or 5 lines. This one naman 6 to 7 lines. So the idea there is if you could, if you could lessen or find an algorithm that minimize the usage of loops, though dili siya no usually like that najutay makagamit majutag loops, then choose that kind of algorithm. So again, I'm showing you different algorithms here, 1 and 2, and it's as you can see yung speed ng isa is medyo mataas, 756,758, while the other one is 82,805. There is actually only like siguro nasa 2%, no, to 5% lang yung processing speed ng algo 2 natin compared to algo 1. So that is if ang n natin is 10. So how much more pag 1,000 na yan ng value ng n? So this would have, yes po.
Send niyan ng code, sir.
Okay po, opo, sure. Sige. So this is now the idea of the data structures and algorithm class, no? So ito yung mathematically ito yung calculation niya manually, okay? So don't you worry kasi we are still going to discuss this one in during our face to face, okay? I still would elaborate this kasi marami pa tayong examples for this one. And I'm just showing you, no, para you will find it interested na ganito pala yung data structures and algorithm. Pero along the way, since I have told you na hindi siya lighter comsci approach lang, we will not do that really parang deeper. We are not going to dig deeper, but we're going to focus only on the different algorithms, not in the calculation on the complexity of algorithm. But I'm just I just included this one para you would really understand na yan yung idea ng data structures and algorithm kasi you will not appreciate the discourse if this will not be covered. So actually and ito din siya nandun din ito sa discrete structures yung analysis of algorithm. So purely mathematics din siya. And this is the application of that mathematical concept in discrete math. So yeah, as the number of n increases, the speed also increases, no? So yan yung most definite na ano diyan, no? Parang realization natin. So mas taas jud ang time na i-allot ni algo 1 kaysa kay algo 2. Okay? So may concepts tayo about calculating in a best case, in an average case and worst case. Ang focus natin is yung worst case. So and then we're going to discuss that one in next few weeks. Okay? Sige, so right now, yan na lang muna. And I would need you to wait for a while. I would need you to please do study this ones here. Now, if you have time, kasi yan, like 5 minutes, 26 minutes of your time, kahit, please don't skip it. Or, I mean, saba, medyo, siyempre, no, boring man mag-watch ng video if it takes parang some of our time or most of our time. So please do find to watch these videos para ang lessons na ako by next week sa face-to-face natin is parang support ideas na lang or support knowledge na lang, no? So even at least ayaw sa ning week 1 to week 3 to 4 and 5. Kanila sang week 1 to week 2. Kana lang sa. Okay? So dili lang sa ta focus sa week 1 until week 2 algorithm complexity. So dito i-discuss ko about yung algorithm complexity, yung asymptotic notation, big O, best case, worst case, average case, and then yung time and space complexity. Paano kinakalculate yung time and space? Which is similarly yung i-discuss ko right now. But this time medyo may maraming examples siya. So ano lang yan, 13 minutes, 20 minutes of your time. So most likely mga 1 hour siguro maubos nyo na lahat yan. Okay? And try to also like do it at your own pace. Okay? So how was it, guys? So how was it, everyone? I'm so hot. Guys, napamudra?
Napasir.
Ayo. Sige. So, before we end, so how was the discussion?
Very, sir, interesting.
Wow, interesting.
Amazing,
Dumail.
sir.
Okay.
Amazing.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it surprising? Ano naman si Kim Cho? So I just hope
Encounter
that
naman
you ano?
Surprising kayo ang kadaghan sa sir? I-type.
Kadaghan i-type.
Well,
Actually,
may
we're
course,
I-familiarize, i-memorize.
Oo,
Dagan
tama
kayo.
no kay wala pa man mo'y idea sa OOP mo tong ingon. Sige lang, I'll try to stop recording na lang natin ito. I'll try to